the termite mounds over like 50 to 100 years, which is pretty incredible. But because of all of the channels and tunnels within the termite mounds, they do stay nice and cool, which attracts a lot of other animals. So things like birds, lizards and snakes will quite often come around to hang around in or around the termite mounds too. But it's not just within the mound, it continues underneath the ground as well. So they'll build these little channels and tunnels which can branch out as far as 50 metres. These will go out to trees or other food sources. These tunnels are quite important for the soil. It means during the dry season, which we're going into now, water movement can still occur below the surface, keeping it much more moist throughout the dry season. But they've been pretty important to people as well throughout history, in particular Indigenous people. They have used the termite mounds kind of like a burial ground. So what they do is they dig out a little hole to place the deceased person inside the termite mound. When a hole is created in the mound, what the termites do is they just enclose it again. So it's like the person is being enclosed in the tomb. So they're very sacred and highly regarded by Indigenous people. Yeah, it's like a line.
So he's friendly, you can pat him.
Not a chance.
I'm joking. Don't pat the crocodiles or the alligators, folks. Although I'm only half lying because he is a bit friendly. He's played with you all day given the chance. Okay, folks. So I forgot to mention back there, but hey, welcome to the Malcolm Douglas Crocodile Park. Good to see you. My name's Dave. I'm going to be your tour guide. So, excuse you. Pardon me. So of course we're starting off here. These are our American alligators. They're a little bit different to estuarine crocodiles, or what we often know as saltwater crocodiles. We've got plenty of those in the park. We're certainly going to see quite a number of them. These fellas here, as I said, American alligators. So these are the ones that you find obviously in those southern states of North America. So people are very aware that you're going to find them around Florida and Louisiana, and you know, like I said, those southern states, around those bayous and swamps. So of course that's not the only place where they're found, it's just where they're more commonly found. Coming up, come on. You will also find them in some of those more northern states, places like South Carolina, North Carolina. You'll find them across to East Texas even. So they do have a much broader range than we understand. Remarkably, for those alligators that are found in those more northern states, they actually get to experience a pretty harsh winter. So sometimes they might have to deal with ice and snow. So the real fascinating thing about that, folks, is that alligators, like all crocodilians, they're reptiles. So they're designed to survive in a warmer climate. And pretty much all of them will be found around that tropical belt of the earth. They're sun lovers. They need the sun to heat them up. That's exactly how they operate. One more for someone over here. What do you reckon? And then I'll leave some for praise. Oh, good effort. I wasn't ready. Come on, try again. So you can edit that. Good catch. So of course, when they have to deal with ice and snow, you imagine that their little pond or their stream is going to ice over. What they'll do is sit themselves in the shallow part of it, stick their nose up out of the water. They might even rest their head against a rock or a log. And that of course keeps their nostril clear of the water so they can continue to breathe. Nostril is right up on the end there. You can see that fella right at the front, this one over here. Two little slits right on the end. So as long as he's able to breathe, he's going to survive. But it does get terribly cold. As I said, it will ice over. So it locks their head into the ice. Leading up to that winter period, what the alligators will do is eat as much as they can and put on a fat store. So it's like insulation to the body. It's going to keep them more insulated, hopefully keep them warmer throughout that winter period. As it cools down, their metabolism slows down and they begin to shut off non-essential functioning organs. Things like the stomach, for example. In fact, they shut their stomach off completely. There's no operation of the stomach. They don't eat right up at that very point of time, so therefore there shouldn't be anything in their stomach to digest anyway. They can't functionally do it, they're too cold. So they'll limit the flow of blood out through the extremities as well. So the tail and the arms and the legs, minimum amount of blood, just enough to keep those limbs and that tail alive. The rest of the blood they'll try and keep around the core part of the body, the heart, the lungs, the liver. How they do that, of course, is they slow their heart rate down. And they can actually slow their heart rate down to between 1 and 3 beats a minute. So they just tick on over and survive. Really, really remarkably strong animals. No other crocodilian, if it was put into that situation, would be able to survive. They just can't tolerate the cold like that. There is also another species of alligator known as the Chinese alligator, found in the Yangtze River. It's in the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, so quite high elevation, again gets very cold. So really remarkable survivors. Now alligators don't grow as large as estuarine crocodiles, so around about 4 metres is considered the average maximum size for a male, and only about 3 metres for a female. We've got some big boys here that, like the big fella right in front, he's actually just probably a whisker over 3 metres already. So he does have a bit of growing to do, but you know, he's got a bit of time to do it as well. They can potentially live up to around 60, even 70 years of age.
Yeah, we're here at the reptile park. We've got some crocs over here. Oh, looks like that guy wants me. He's not going to have me. Yeah, we're currently at Sandfire Roadhouse, and we've got a couple of these little guys here. And a few signs around the place. Oh, then they've got some great old gear here. Oh, hi guys, we're at Pardoo, Cape KERAUDREN. We've just had tea and there was some interesting little goings on around here that I thought you might like to have a look at. So I'll just bring the camera down and you might be able to see what's going on here. We've got a whole family of these little crabs. And they're just having a little ball down there. And we've also got grasshoppers and all sorts of stuff going on. Well, pretty cool stuff. Anyway, I better go and help Robyn with the dishes and we'll start our adventures again tomorrow. Well, hi guys, yep, we're at Port Headland at the moment, just watching a few of the ships come in. Well, hi guys, we're just at the pier at Port Headland. We're just watching a couple of the ships go out. Now, when I turn the camera around, you'll see two ships. One ship will be fairly high up in the water and the second ship will be lower. The lower ship is full of iron ore ready to be shipped out. So I'll spin around and give you a look. So that's the one that's fairly high in the water. So that's yet to be filled. And this one over here is about ready to set sail and that's filled with iron ore, ready to go. So the tugs are there, ready to push her out to sea. We've been sitting here for about nearly 5 minutes now waiting for this train to go through. It's the longest thing we have ever seen. It's actually got 2 engines. One is in the middle.
Well, 2 are in the middle.
Or 2 in the middle.
And 2 at the front. And these are the middle ones.
There's still more to come. Guys, welcome back. Episode 7. What an episode that was. Horizontal Falls. Unbelievable. We had a ball, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I don't know how I did it, but I managed to get the co-pilot seat in the aeroplane, which gave us an absolutely brilliant overlook of the controls on the dash, the view, the taking off, the landings, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're indebted to that one.
Well, Peter was. I was behind.
I won't tell you how I did it, but there was a trick to it. But anyway, we're moving right along. We actually went with Go Horizontal Falls, because there's a couple of places that do it. We went with them simply because they had basically a full day, which they, well, as you saw, we went through, or we left Broome Airport, flew to Cockatoo Island. We saw the BUCCANEER archipelago.
Yeah, and then Cockatoo Island, and then we got in the boat and travelled along for more than an hour or more, because we stopped off on that little islandy, sandy island.
It was sort of like a silica
island or something, and stopped there, and we had talks with the ranger we had on board, or our guide, who was a ranger. Stopped off and looked at the osprey. Was there the birds?
Yeah, they had an osprey nest that was actually in one of the cranes. If you look carefully at one of the photos, the still photos I put up, on the top of the crane you can actually see the osprey nest up there. Apparently the mine's not operating at the moment, but they're looking into reopening it again, so we'll have to see what, it's a bit of a watch this space.
Yes, when we were there they were bringing in some mining people to have a little look to restart it, because basically it just stopped and everything was left where it was, and it wouldn't take that much, take us some money to start it up again. Well,
back in the 1980s, Alan Bond actually started the resort up there. It was magnificent, state-of-the-art stuff. Was it a swimming pool overlooking the ocean, and all that sort of
high-class, high-end, expensive stuff for the rich and famous.
For the rich and famous. So anyway, that all fell apart as we know.
When he lost his money,
So,
So the guides and that, there's 7 of them that stay there on a 2-week rotational shift, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they stay in some of the old resort rooms, bungalows, whatever you like to call them, and they have a cook there and all that, and the swimming pool, everything's maintained, and they use all that. And at the moment, they were the only ones on the island. But as I say, there was a group of, I think, 10 mining people coming. Correct. Only a couple of weeks after we were there, to have a look and see whether it's were the process of starting the mining, which is iron ore up there, and the iron ore in that area, and KOOLAN Island, which is the next island on, which is operating still. That's still an operating iron ore mine. The iron ore there is purest standard. It's better than anywhere else in Western Australia anyway.
In the world, actually.
Was it the world?
Yep.
And of course, so therefore it's very prized and sought after.
Sought after. So they do a lot of mining. Now, you might have your own views on mining, but we won't get into that. We came to see the horizontal falls and we weren't disappointed. That was just absolutely brilliant. Go Horizontal allowed us to put the GoPro on the front of the boat, which gave us a real bird's eye view of the water going in and us coming out. So that was quite good. Must again apologise for the footage that we used. We had to use Robyn's phone camera, which the quality wasn't that good. Look, I left it in there because it gives you an idea of what it was like to be a passenger on the boat and all that sort of thing. So it was fine. Maybe we should get another GoPro, just to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, that's another story. Now, one of my favourite places that we went to was the Malcolm Douglas Crocodile Park and Animal Refuge. Look, as a kid growing up, there was a lot of TV shows, adventure shows on TV that Malcolm Douglas had done. Some of you old people will remember this. The younger ones just won't have a clue what I'm talking about. But he was sort of like an adventurer and wildlife warrior. And
a bit like a Steve Irwin.
Yeah, a bit of a Steve Irwin back in the day. I was lucky enough to meet his wife, and she was just a lovely lady. We were talking about Malcolm for quite a while there. And she just gave me some insights to his quirky ways and how he did things. It was quite interesting. So, we thoroughly enjoyed the Malcolm Douglas Crocodile Park and Animal Refuge.
And that was only about 10 minutes out of Cable Beach from our caravan park. Yeah. Something like that,
So there's a lot to do up in Broome. We only just touched the surface up there, but no, it was quite good. So we had to leave Broome not had to leave, but we were running out of time, so we had to keep moving. And so we ended up, I put the Sandfire Roadhouse in. I put that in because, again, that was a quirky little roadhouse, plenty of roadhouses on the way. This one had a lot of signs in there. They had the peacocks running around. It was quite quirky, so it was good.
Yep.
But the thing I loved the most was Pardoo. Cape KERAUDREN. Those small hermit crabs, they were just
adorable.
Look, honestly, after we'd finished the dishes, we sat down and we were watching them for ages after that. It was just...
And where you can see them sort of gathering around this little area, like the little family, that was actually the water outlet for the sink. Yeah. And because I think I'd done the dishes, and so the water ran out because it's just sandy, so it just soaks away. But there was probably little bits of food and water in there, and they were all scratching around looking for it. It was really quite cute.
It was entertaining. That was our entertainment.
It was for the night. Yeah, it was our TV show, and the fact that you look at them. And all the different little shells that they've gathered, and you think, wow, they really do just pick up a shell. If that one fits, that one will do. Yeah, thanks very much.
Into it, and that's it. Well, that brings us to Port Headland. That was sort of interesting because all the iron ore goes there. It comes in via train. When we came into Port Headland, we were stopped at a railway crossing, and this train went past, and honestly, it was incredible. It had 2 engines at the front, 2 engines in the middle, and the thing was, how long? I think it said
2.3 kilometres long, the one train.
One train. That's incredible.
And full of iron ore in each carriage.
Yeah. And then when we got to the port, you could actually see the 2 ships there. One was fully loaded, and the other one was about to be loaded. So you'd see the level and how they sit in the water, which was quite interesting.
So quite a busy little port there, and interesting.
Yeah. And, as we were coming out, we stopped across a bridge or onto a bridge, and overlooking the bridge there was the salt mines.
Oh yeah.
And there was a huge mountain of salt. I think I dropped a photo of that in the stills section of the video. So that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's a busy little place. We didn't stay. We had lunch there, and just as I had a look around, and then just kept on going to. Where were we going then?
That's a surprise. We're not telling us. That's the next episode. But look, again, thank you guys for supporting us and watching our videos. If you're still enjoying it, please give us a bit of a thumbs up, and don't forget to press that subscribe button. Is that Esky again? Oh, I tell you what, I missed that girl.
Yeah,
she was a great
she's
dog.
great, yeah.
All right, well, look, that's enough of us. So from Peter and Robyn, Oz Travelog, again, thank you for watching. And please leave some comments below. I'd love to answer some questions. So have a great time, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Next one, yeah.
Which will be episode number 8. Gosh, really getting there. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.